guys, I'm DaleDuo,
And I'm Mr. DaleDuo.
and we are starting a brand new series talking about our relationship and life experience.
And teaching you how to gain more life XP.
And we're super pumped to be starting this series. And I made a little tweet about it and already got some questions from you guys about our relationship and gaming and streaming and things like that. So we're going to start by just telling our experience, aka our story of how we started dating and all of those sorts of things.
Yep. And how it went downhill from there.
It'll be 10 years in March
Yeah.
that
we started dating.
we started dating.
But we met for the first time ever in 8th grade. Which,
Dang,
how
eighth
old,
grade?
how old are you when you go to 8th grade? 12? Is that right?
No.
You graduate high school at 18.
Well,
you start
whenever-
high school at 14.
Yeah, or 13, depending. I'm an August birthday, so I was
So
13.
yeah, 12. Like 12, 13. That means I met you 13 years ago.
That's crazy.
And we started dating.
Was
almost
I
2
a
years.
cute 13-year-old?
Yeah, well, I thought you were older, remember? Because you're so tall
Yeah.
and had long hair.
Yeah.
So I thought you were like a high schooler and I was just a little 8th grader.
But I wasn't taller than you, let's be clear.
No, you were the tallest girl around.
I was the tallest girl around, and every guy I dated before Mr. Dale was shorter than me. By the way, DaleDuo, if you're just now coming across this, I'm a streamer, content creator under the name DaleDuo. Our last names are Dale, so that's why
They'll do it.
DaleDuo. But my name is Christina, and this is Gilbert.
Yes.
And we grew up in a very small towns, neighboring towns.
Yep.
Actually, we lived 30 minutes away from each other.
Yep. Different high schools. Different churches, but they did stuff together.
Mhm. We were both
Lots of same friends.
we were both very heavily involved in church, and so we kind of ran the same circles.
Yeah.
But I would say the first time we met was at a football game,
Yep.
right?
I think it was my school football
Yes.
game. You were there with my best friend that you were dating at the time. And he introduced us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I dated Gilbert's best friend first before I dated him. And we're still friends with him.
Yeah.
Shout out Dan. He's a great guy. He's awesome. But that's how we met. And so what did you think when you first met me?
Well, Dan is 2 years older than me. And so I thought you also were 2 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, not to mention, you were tall and had really long hair. So I thought you were older, and I thought, well, truthfully, I was like, how on earth did them two match up?
I was taller than Dan. But like I said, every guy I dated before was shorter than me. I was just super tall. Ninth grade. I had just hit my growth spurt, and like all the guys hadn't really grown much. So
Tall, pretty, but awkward.
I was not awkward.
You had the longest arms. Yo, she was like a toothpick, like so skinny with these long arms, but had the long, pretty hair, long legs, the whole 9 yards there.
I was lanky. Lanky.
Anyway, moving on with the story. How long goes by? I guess you were with him for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all break up.
Mm-hmm.
We'll leave it at that. A year later, you and I were friends.
Yeah.
We had church events, stuff like that. We were preparing for a big church event, hanging out as we both planned, because I was leading worship. You were doing some skits and different things.
Yeah.
So we were hanging out around that time with all of our buddies.
And I thought he was really cute. Like, I thought he was super cute.
But since we were close friends, I had some issues that I asked her about because my relationship that I was in was not going great, and I couldn't understand why. And so, like, I was just looking for help. I had some questions. She was
And
a good Christian resource.
I was more than happy.
Okay, this was before any interest was involved.
Oh, I was interested.
I didn't know that.
I was very interested.
I just thought I finally had a friend who listened.
So I knew I had a crush on him. Whenever I saw him lead worship, he played guitar and sang at our, like, D Now. I don't know if you guys know what that is, like Disciple Now. It's like a weekend at church, like where you go and you stay at people's houses. And I was invited to go. I had a bunch of friends, and it was actually at his church. And I saw him sing and play guitar, and I was like, that's hot. I like that. I want that. But then I found out he had a girlfriend. And so when I found out he had a girlfriend, I was like, okay, whatever. He's got a girlfriend. It's fine. And so I just kind of took those feelings and, like, tucked them away. And, you know, I had other crushes at the time. You know, when you're a teenage girl, you have a lot of crushes.
Yeah, we're talking
16.
Was this junior
I was
year?
16. You were 17.
Yeah, junior year of high school. So anyway,
no.
my relationship that I was in at the time eventually dwindles, right, as they do. And that one wrapped up. We were still close friends, and we had started talking about recording some music together. Because if you don't know, she is an excellent professionally trained vocalist and violin player, piano, guitar. I played guitar, drums, bass, and sang as well. And so we were like, well, let's record a song together. So we were talking about recording a song, all that. Well, obviously, when we were talking that much, you know, it's a cute little song.
About love.
Right. Eventually, somebody, probably, I think it was me, shared my feelings, right? And then she wouldn't answer. You know how that is. You send the risky text or whatever, and you're like, I ruined it. Right.
And what
was your answer? Huh? When you finally got around to answering. But let's
talk about what I was doing when he sent me this text, y'all. Y'all, he sends me this text, and it's like, I'm telling him what kind of girl he needs. Like, he needs a girl that will, like, love him for him and, like, tell him how amazing he is every day and always communicate and blah, blah, blah. And he sends me this text back like, I think that girl is you. I think that girl is you. And I am
corny.
corny. So cringe. But we're 16 and 17. I kid you not. I literally was in my bedroom, my blue bedroom, and I got up and I literally, like, jumped up and down. Like, I was jumping up and down, and I was, like, fist pumping the air, and I was like, yes, he likes me back, and I was
But that's
so
not
excited.
the response that I got. The answer I got was, well, I'm kind of talking to a few other guys too, and so I just have to wait and see. And I was like, that's it.
Guys.
I'm burning my phone. It's over.
I had to play hard to get. Listen,
it didn't take you, a week? And I went to see you again, and you were like, okay, I like you, I want a date. And then what did I say? I'm going to wait a little bit.
No. So, guys, my dad raised me to play hard to get and to make sure that the guy's always pursuing you. I wanted to make sure, in my little 16-year-old brain, he was not wanting to date me just, like, as a rebound, because he had broken up with his girlfriend, like, a few months before. And I wasn't lying. I really was talking to a few other guys. nothing serious whatsoever. Um, Nothing serious whatsoever. And, you know, as a girl, I just kind of wanted to keep my options open. And I'm not going to lie, I like the attention.
Yes.
But I knew what I wanted. And what I wanted was him. And for the longest time, he had a girlfriend. And so I just had to be like, okay,
But
he has a girlfriend. And
eventually,
whatever.
we started dating. In March of 2015, we officially started dating.
March 4th.
And so we dated through junior and senior year. And um, since we lived in neighboring towns, I always drove out there to see her, or she would come to me. We would meet in the middle, whatever. Um, I worked in construction in the summers and grew up farming, and so I was always working if I wasn't at school. So I would like make it a point to get off work in construction and go by her house for dinner in my just filthy construction clothes just to show her dad that I was a hard worker and that I was willing to put in. Because I was leaving the house at 4 a.m. and coming to see you at 8 p.m. and then going and doing it again for a while. So I wanted to prove that I could do it. Well, it worked because she wanted to go to our college, right?
Yeah, well, let's backtrack because I want to tell them about how what we did on our first date.
Okay. Our first ever,
Our first
date.
official date, y'all. So, most of you who have been following me for a long time or you know me, I'm a huge gamer. Obviously, I'm a streamer. And I grew up gaming constantly, all the time. I started on Nintendo DS, the Wii, then I got an Xbox, blah, blah, blah. So the very first thing that we did, I knew he liked video games too. And so I invited him over to my house and we played Call of Duty together.
I think it was
Black Ops 2.
Was it or was it Ghosts?
Oh no, you're right. The first one was Ghosts, and then you brought Black Ops 2 later on other dates. It was Call of Duty Ghosts with bots.
The multiplayer
bots with
mode.
Bots. And we would do gun game, and we would do all kinds of all the random fun game modes. And that was like a lot of our relationship was like gaming together. And I would go over to his house and we would play games. I had a Wii.
So we play all the Wii games.
We would play all the Wii games and Wii Sports. I introduced him to all the games that I like to play, and he introduced me to the games he liked to play.
Yeah.
And then we would go to dinner, and then we went to a movie. The very first day we went and saw that new SpongeBob movie, the claymation.
SpongeBob 2, the movie 2. Oh,
and it was terrible.
It was so bad.
But I'll never forget because that was the first time you held my hand.
Yes, that's correct.
So I really wasn't paying attention to the movie. I was just like, oh my gosh, he's holding my hand.
It was.
It was hot.
But it wasn't long before we had to go to college.
Yep.
And you wanted to go to unnamed school.
Which we will not name.
And I didn't care. My parents said get a degree. I didn't care where I went, so I followed her. Yeah. And there's a lot of people at college.
Yeah.
A lot of good-looking people. And I'm like, wait a minute. I want to keep this girl. I'm going to marry her. So what am I waiting for? I need to lock her down. So Christmas break, freshman year, I had driven out to your house to see your parents for Christmas. And as we were leaving to go back to college, I let her leave first, and I got in the truck and started following her real slow, and then whipped that thing around and went back to her house, to her parents, and said, hey, I am marrying your daughter, and I would love to have your blessing.
I had no idea.
It wasn't a question. It was, I am marrying your daughter, and I would love to have your blessing when I do it. And they said, yeah, okay. We're going to pray for you. And I was like, what? Like,
yeah.
I'm 18, about to turn 19. She's 18. And they're like, yep, we were expecting it.
My parents loved him immediately.
Yep.
and they knew that we were endgame. I mean, they knew. Um, and I had no idea any of this happened. I had no idea. Like he said, we had finished our first semester of college, and this happened during Christmas break. I had no idea he had turned around. I was wondering why it took him so long to catch up with me
Yeah.
when we got back to college. So, anyway.
And I called my mom crying.
Aww.
I called my mom crying like a baby, saying that they were happy and that her parents had prayed over me and that it was
scared.
perfect.
Were you scared?
I wasn't scared. I was just nervous of getting the other reaction. I was going to marry you either way. I didn't care.
Yeah.
But I was nervous it was going to be a battle, and it wasn't at all. I don't know why I expected that, but
Because they loved you.
But it wasn't very long after that both of our parents were coming into town where we went to school, and I was like, wait, this is the perfect weekend. I already had the ring, all that stuff, and so I called my mom. I was like, hey, get the ring out of the safe, bring it with you. We're going to do this. And then I put on a suit, and I went to this special location and hung balloons and waited for hours for her parents to get her out there, and then we got engaged. I proposed.
Yeah. And when I got there, so the way my parents got me there was they said we were going to take pictures for my grandparents' 50th wedding anniversary, which was very normal. A normal thing that my family would do is take pictures, get them framed, very nice, for grandparents. Normal,
Yeah.
very normal. And so I got dressed up, not as dressed up as I would have liked for my engagement, but I didn't know I was being engaged. I got dressed up and I was taking my sweet time. Like, I took a bubble bath. Like, I didn't know we had any schedule.
I'm sweating,
And my parents
waiting. My balloon popped.
were acting so strange, and I didn't know. I had no idea. One thing I did know is that we were going to go get tacos after. That's
Yeah.
the only thing I knew, and I was so excited for the tacos. I wanted tacos. So I was like, we're going to take these pictures, and we're going to be done, and I'm going to get these tacos and we were going to meet Gilbert and his parents for tacos. All I had on my mind was tacos. I just wanted tacos. And so I show up, and I'm like walking really fast. And my dad's like, why are you walking so fast? And I'm like, because I want tacos.
I'm hungry.
He thought I knew about the engagement, but I had no idea. So I show up and I see Gilbert, and he is in his full suit and everything. And I'm like, first I'm like, Gilbert. And then I'm like, wait, why is he here? And then everything from there was just a blur. It was just like in my mind. Like, I just was sent to another dimension because I was so shocked and surprised. And he read scripture to me, and he got down on one knee and was just so sweet and said he wanted to spend the rest of his life with me. And I cried like a baby, and I said yes, and both of our parents were there.
And my sister.
And my sister.
Yeah, it was awesome. But
So we were engaged.
we were engaged
Woo!
freshman year, and so
Freshman
we
year.
were like, okay, how and when are we going to get married? And so we expected it would be after graduating college.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, I don't want to wait that long, but I also can't afford college. So there's no way I can afford to get married too.
Yeah.
And I didn't want my parents to pay for any of it. So I raised my right hand and joined the military. And so I was doing National Guard and ROTC at college all at the same time and working a job. And because of that, the college pretty much was paying me to go to school.
Yeah.
And so summer of junior year in 2019, we were able to plan a wedding back home in our home church. And it was perfect. We loved the colors.
Yeah.
Everything was beautiful.
And
was awesome.
he joined the military not just because he wanted to marry me, although that was a big reason. He also was very, very called he felt very called to serve his
I
country.
knew there was a reason.
To serve his country and, you know, to serve God in that way too, and to serve his country and protect our freedoms.
Yeah. Well,
And
we'll talk
so
more about the military stuff
in future
another episode.
episodes. Yeah. And then we had the most dream wedding, and
Perfect.
it was
awesome.
absolutely just the
Short.
It was
Short and
short. Best day of our lives.
I don't remember who was there. I don't remember what I ate.
I
remember sweating. It was June, so it was hot in Texas.
So this was 2019, and we
Yeah.
were going into our senior year, and it was just by the grace of God that we were able to get married. And we were both working I had 2 jobs and full-time school. He was in the military and full-time school and had another job.
Yeah.
And so we were living on love.
We had a 1-bedroom, 600 square foot apartment that we made just enough to pay the rent and get groceries.
We had nothing.
We had very little money.
We were living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, because all of my school money was going away, being put away.
We would save a
We
little.
saved everything.
I mean, we would save. We would never spend any. We would not go out with friends very much, and or buy anything or go out to eat.
But we're
very
still gaming.
much.
We had our old Xboxes.
But we gamed.
We were
A
playing
lot.
games in that little apartment. It was fun.
Oh my gosh.
I played Apex Legends came out. I was playing it like crazy.
Fortnite. We would take turns.
Yeah.
Fortnite.
You played Animal Crossing
And then
a
I
lot.
played Animal Crossing, and I got a Wii U, which was a big deal for me because I traded in my Xbox 360 for this Wii U when we had no money. And we had, we paid more money, and we had no money. So this was like a big deal. I was able to get this Wii U and play
different game.
the new Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
And I would sit there and play Animal Crossing, and he would be playing Apex, yelling with his friends. And so gaming was like our life. It was basically what we would do every evening.
That's how we kept from spending money. Because we would just sit together and play games.
Exactly.
But, yeah, we finished school. We're lucky we got married in 2019 because then COVID hit and we wouldn't have had a wedding at all. So it was perfect timing, God's timing.
Yeah.
We graduated college, in this lockdown thing. It's kind of wild. Had a couple different jobs and ended up where we are today. She started the DaleDuo content during COVID to make some friends.
Yeah, in 2021, where we were living at the time was more in central Texas. We didn't have really many friends at all. And also, it was in the middle of COVID when the numbers of COVID was like really rising.
No one knew what was going on.
Nobody knew what was going on. Everybody can relate to that time. But I had no friends. And Gilbert didn't have any friends either, except he had friends online. A ton of friends. Like, people
Gaming
from college,
friends from all over the
and
place,
they were it was because they were all playing Call of Duty and Apex together. And I really wasn't big on the FPSs. They were fun, but I didn't like to play them that much. But in 2021, I got my first Switch, and it was a really big deal because we finally had good paying jobs, and we were able to afford.
The new Switch came out.
The new Switch came out,
but you couldn't find one.
You couldn't find them in
COVID.
stores. Because of COVID, they weren't like shipping them over to the United States.
Parts were low and chip shortage.
We happened upon a Switch at Walmart.
Yep.
And they had just received Switches.
Like 3.
They had
off the
3.
truck.
They had 3 back.
That morning. Yeah.
And I was like, babe, can we please? We had been looking for a long time. And he was like, yes, we can afford to buy this now that we have jobs and no longer paying school.
Still didn't have much, but
we had nothing.
We didn't have friends, so we had to do something.
And so that's when I started playing Animal Crossing. And I grew up playing Animal Crossing. I had a Nintendo DS, and so I played Animal Crossing New Leaf religiously. My Animal Crossing villagers helped raise me, and so it was like, it just took me by storm. I mean, you were singing the song.
Oh, it played for 40 hours a day, the Animal Crossing songs. But anyway, back to our story.
Yeah.
That's really how it all began. We just hit our 5-year wedding anniversary, which is crazy. And we were, we've been in a relationship for almost 10 years, married for 5. We've known each other for like 13.
Yeah.
And we're only 26.
And we're 26.
We've known each other for half our lives. So,
yeah.
It's kind of crazy. We're unbelievably blessed and happy to share our story, and looking forward to the opportunity to answer y'all's questions. And
we didn't tell them about streaming and how we started streaming and all that.
do we have time for that?
Yeah. So, in 2021, whenever I was obsessed with Animal Crossing and things like that, my husband had a brilliant idea that we should start streaming. This was when Twitch took this huge boom.
Yep.
And
all the big streamers got filthy rich.
Yeah. You were interested in it, like just you personally at first, right?
Call of Duty was at its prime, so I was like, I could play this all day.
Yeah.
I did.
And you didn't have the technology knowledge to execute it.
No.
But I did. And so that's when we became a team. And even more so than we were already a team. And I was like looking up YouTube videos. How do you stream? What do people use to stream?
What equipment?
What do we need? I don't know anything about it. I'm very tech savvy, and I am really good at figuring stuff out. And so I figured it out, got it set, and we started streaming. Our first stream was in
2021.
2021, and
August.
I think it was September, October was when we first started. And it started out with the two of us playing games together. Like Fall Guys.
Or, what's the cooking?
Oh, Overcooked.
Overcooked.
Yeah, Overcooked was a really good one. I loved that one. He hated it.
I hated it. She's so bad.
I couldn't figure out how to do it. But then we got it and we were good. It was fine. So I started doing that. And then I decided, I want to stream, but he doesn't want to stream the same games that I want to stream. So I started streaming Animal Crossing a little bit when he wasn't there.
You play Animal Crossing, I'm going to go back and play Call of Duty with my friends, and you just keep it going, because I don't have the social energy that you do.
Yeah.
And I don't want to play Animal Crossing, so you keep the DaleDuo name since it's already established. And there are two of us, and just run with it.
And so that's what I did. I just kept the DaleDuo name, and I became DaleDuo. And I played a lot of Animal Crossing, and my stream started to grow. And people started to discover me from Animal Crossing. But then, on that fateful day in July, I discovered Rocket League.
Well, you were saying, hey... I've done almost everything in Animal Crossing.
I've done everything.
What else do I play? And how do I get more people? And I was like, well, you don't want to play Call of Duty or Apex. You could try Rocket League, but it's really hard. I'm not sure if you'll like it. So I sat down and I taught her how to play Rocket League.
Yep.
And she was like, no, I want to figure this out. This is cool. I want to figure it out.
Oh, hello, Psyche.
She's ready for dinner.
She's hungry.
So she started learning Rocket League, and and then she had her first ever stream. And if you've ever watched any Rocket League creators, especially new ones, people love to come in and help and give tips and help teach and show. And so she had a long learning experience that really helped develop her Rocket League following, because people wanted to watch her grow and learn.
And I remember making a TikTok hey, I didn't know there are a lot of people that played Rocket League. If you play Rocket League, would you join my stream and help teach me how to play? And people discovered me from TikTok. Because that was also when TikTok was starting to really blow up and things like that. And so that's where it all started. And so ever since...
Been Rocket League since then.
Ever since, I have been hooked on
Now
Rocket
she's
League.
passed me.
And
I
now
don't play
I
as much.
outrank him.
Yeah.
But he's way better at FPS games than I am. So,
Yep.
but anyway, all that to say, that's our story.
That's who we are.
That's how we got together, and you know, gaming has really played a huge part in our relationship. And it's kind of rare. It's kind of hard to find, you know, especially like girls. There's not a lot of like girls, at least that I know in real life. I know a lot of streamers and a lot of gamers that are girls that I've met through gaming, but people that you just walk down on the street or that you meet, like you're friends with, they don't really game that are girls. And so it's kind of rare
Yeah.
for a couple
Especially married girls.
married, yeah, and you know, to be gamers and that be a huge part of our relationship. And so that kind of inspired a lot of this video series, is that I want to speak into what it's like, you know, to be in a relationship, a healthy relationship. But we've been gaming together for 10 plus years. You know, and we want to be able to help give you practical ways that you can find your duo for life. And we want to help you, you know, navigate those weird relationship problems. We've had
Or life problems. So we have so much random XP of different. We've done so many different things in life.
We've done a lot of side quests.
A lot of side quests.
We have done a lot of side quests. We've done the main quest.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of the main quests. There's still
We're
a lot
not
of the
done
main
yet.
quests to do. But we've done a lot of side quests. And so we want to take that XP and we want to teach you how to gain that XP.
Sure, yeah.
So,
and hear your stories.
and hear your stories and how you can level up and just kind of grow together. So what you're going to expect from future episodes, we're going to be answering your questions.
Yep.
We're going to be telling funny stories about our life.
We may go into specific aspects.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we'll talk about military service. We'll talk about finances. We'll talk about houses and gaming and
Yeah.
dogs. We got the two dogs running around.
You know,
Yeah, we'll talk about whatever you guys want to hear, really. And
how we saved up to buy a house.
just share our XP.
How we save money, how we, you know, are smart with our money, how we love each other, and how we put God first in everything that we do. And we'll also have some fun, and we'll recap, like we were just at the Rocket League World Championship. I think that should be our next episode, is talking about that and our experience there. And so, yeah, if you're interested in learning more and in our series, make sure that you subscribe, like, follow, but most importantly, submit your questions.
Yes.
We want to answer any questions that you guys have about gaming and relationships, life, adulthood, anything that we can help you with. So put that in the comments, or you can tweet me at Dale_Duo. You're welcome. My DMs are open if you want it to be more private and anonymous, or you can tweet me. So yeah, this is episode 1. How do you feel? Frick! I can't do it!
That one was not bad.
I've been practicing my dap so I can be one of the guys, and it's a work in progress.
We're working on it.
We're working on it. So anyway,
Thanks for watching.
thank you guys.
We had a blast.
Have a great rest of your day. Catch you later.